welcome to Work the Left Side. Thank you for joining us. I'm happy to announce this week's guest. It is Corey McRae. I nearly did it. Nearly said Colin after our
Colin.
Corey McRae. Mate, how are we doing? You good?
Yes, brother. All good. Long day, but here we are. We're in it.
Awesome. I'll try not to keep you too long, or at least try and make it a bit of fun for you. So it's not too bad.
All good. It's Pancake Day anyway, so we've got them after.
Well, that's tomorrow, isn't it?
Nah, Pancake Day's today.
I thought it was always Tuesday. I've got Pancake Tuesday. I've got it in my head. It was, it's Drove Tuesday. For some reason, in Black Pancakes on Tuesday.
Unless I'm wrong and I've got a day early. I think it's the 12th, isn't it? It's a great way to start the wrestling podcast.
Okay. I've done it. Why?
No.
What?
It is tomorrow. You're spot on. No. Oh, I've just made the batter and everything.
Put it in the fridge. It'll be even better tomorrow. Let it settle.
Oh, that's brilliant. Fantastic. Anyway, as we were.
Right. That's how much, as I always second guess myself. I've been eating pancakes for 30 odd years on a Tuesday. And as soon as somebody says, no, it's on a Monday, I'm like, oh crap, it's on a Monday.
No. 30 years. No, it's me being until. I'll have some tonight anyway. Stuff it.
Yeah, do it. Why not? Treat yourself. But yeah, dude. Obviously, before we hit record, I was talking. Obviously, made your debut in 2018, January Wrestling League.
Yeah.
Looking through, all the stuff you've done, which we'll talk about. But as with anyone, the generic question, what makes somebody want to get dropped on the head or the back repeatedly? What's the motivation for taking those steps through the door in the first place?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I'm not the one to sit on here and say I watched it a bunch growing up. I've always loved it. I got inspired by this and this person. Never obviously saw little bits here and there, the old John Cena clips here and there, but was more of an MMA sort of guy and was doing the MMA training, focusing on that. And then a couple of my friends who also live in the area, they'd started training at this school. For other reasons, I won't name the school, but there's some, started training at this school, and I met them on a night out, one random night. I'd known them from high school as well, so I'd known them a few years, but on this random night, a few drinks had been drunk, the chat was flowing, and they said, come on down, come give it a go. I was I don't know. And it's like, you'll be surprised. And I went, you know what? And then one of them said, you can give me a lift to training tomorrow, drinking Saturday night, training on a Sunday. Give me a lift tomorrow. And I was like, all right, screw it. So then I was there and I was like, well, I might as well get involved. So I went and done a training session and was like, this is awesome. And then literally stuck it out for about a year and a bit straight, every Friday and Sunday, didn't miss a single training session.
Dude, because obviously, the MMA thing, I know a lot of people, I've done a few MMA training things and they absolutely bust your balls. It's just, you feel like you've won a marathon. If you've done it right and they're doing it right, you just feel it for like a week afterwards kind of thing. So you go from that into the wrestling, it's kind of like the nice sort of like, okay, yeah, I kind of, your body's kind of used to the punishment.
Absolutely. You go from getting whacked about from someone else to whacking yourself about on the ring. But there is a lot of contrast between the two sports that certainly, which helped me stand out and helped me improve rapidly right from the get-go from MMA, was the fitness, the footwork, ring awareness, agility and ability, speed, cardio. Yeah, there was a lot that gave me a helping hand. And submissions, the technical side of it as well. Having been to roll with someone, I was very blessed to have a head start as such.
Definitely. I think, any kind of fighting background, it helps. I've spoken to other people that have gone from martial arts into wrestling, from boxing into wrestling. Footwork is the key word there. That's one of the first things that they always emphasize, is it just helps when you're walking around the ring and knowing placement and just being able to just flow a little bit easier.
Absolutely, yeah. Making sure that you don't trip over yourself or stumble, or a lot of ring awareness as well, criminally underrated, because obviously in a boxing ring, for kickboxing or in a cage, you never want your back up against the ropes. So you're always conscious of holding that center of the ring. So when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to the chain or having spots where people land in the center where it's the smoothest, naturally or already, without even thinking about it, wanted to be in the center of that ring. So it's just one less thing that I had to worry about. So yeah, it's great.
That's awesome. I'd say it just makes sense. I just love like little bits here and there that people just kind of pick up on that you wouldn't think of unless somebody points it out, and then it's like, yes, okay, that makes sense. Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, well, again, before we hit record, I spoke talking about from martial arts into wrestling.
Yeah.
Within the first 12 months, dude, if you're making your debut at Wrestling League,
yeah.
I clocked a match between you and well, it's just Mike Bailey at the time, but obviously Speedball Mike Bailey as he's known now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, Taekwondo dude in wrestling.
Yeah. Very, very serious striker. Yeah, it was crazy to get that match, especially so early. Like we were speaking off camera beforehand. The some of the matches that I had in that 12 months period was a huge blessing. Like the things I'd learned, it's just literally getting thrown in the deep end, like straight into the fire, sink or swim sort of thing. But thankfully, with not skipping a training session Mondays and Fridays for near enough the whole year, getting those training show matches in, it all it sounds so weird to say, but it all fell into place in a way.
Well, as you said, I mean, you're doing it that often. As with anything, you learn by repetition. You do, and you do until you start to become second nature.
Yeah. Like the simple basics, fundamentals of wrestling. It was just so Sundays would be, I think, like 4 hours of actual training, but Fridays after work would just be an open ring. So you could come down, practice stuff, and it'd be for 2 hours, I think. But I would, especially at the start and for the first 6 months, it was internationals, lockups, taking bumps, repeat to the point that me and my friend, we did the international blindfolded. We just honed it and practiced it, watched tapes back. And people will think some people will study that and go, right, I sleep and then I leap, hip toss, bang. But once I'd got that motion, it was, okay, how are you bumping? How are you selling from that bump? How are you diving to make sure it looks like it actually... Because some people do the sleep and it just looks like they're rolling over, when in turn you want to look like you're trying to trip them up. Yeah. So it's making sure and from being a goalkeeper in football, a little thing of that is doing the dive made it help look more realistic, because I already know how to do that mechanically. And then having a lovely spring of me step could jump way over people's heads without them having to duck. So after a while, it all became a very, very smooth poem of physical demand as such. But yeah, practice every Friday after work. Those simple things, making sure the easy stuff is done right. So then when it comes to doing stuff with Speedball, it was the fundamentals, the MMA, martial arts sort of stuff. So it wasn't completely a whole new world, which made the match a bit easier.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, and that is such a good point as well. I've seen that routine done so many times by so many other people. Yeah. And I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that somebody's actually made it look like they're going for the legs and the other person just jumped over it. Yeah. That very rarely ever comes across when you see that sequence.
Yeah, it is so frustrating like that. But thankfully, again, having been fortunate to have the right people around me to say, because obviously at first I don't know any different, so it is just a bit of a, I'm going over here now. But they're like, you're doing that for a reason. What is that reason? Make it look like it's for that reason. So to get to the point where you are trying to trip them up, and it's their fault if they don't get over you quick enough. But just that, taking that shoulder tackle, snap bump, and then selling that shoulder tackle, like, because some people take the shoulder tackle and they lay there and they go, okay, the sleep's next. Okay, I've done the sleep, now I'll jump. It just didn't have like bang, as if you just shoulder tackle me down. Oh, you're going over there, I'm going to trip you up. Like, just the minor details that people don't pay attention to is what can make or break someone.
Well, that's it, man. It's all part of the story, isn't it? You're telling the story, and every movement, every sequence is a page of that story kind of thing. So it should be something. So, but yeah, Mike Bailey, man. Within the first 12 months, Obviously, he wasn't a household name at that point, but the dude was still, you know, one of the so highly regarded side of things.
Yeah, definitely.
So again, you know, it's like they sort of say, you know, steel makes steel kind of thing. You can only get better by being in the ring with, you know, the best of the best kind of thing.
Yeah, no, because I don't think he wasn't my first pro show match, but he was certainly one of the biggest ones. And that was because I remember it being the first match that I was like, to break the fourth wall here, just in case anyone doesn't know, to remember such a well sequenced match. Normally at training or the training shows us trainees trying things out, what doesn't work, what does work, throwing a bunch of rubbish together and see what sticks. But having someone like Speedball, who has done a lot up to that point and is very experienced, come in and be like, right, this, duck one, take one, send off, duck this, reversal. And I'm like, I've got 6 months or whatever, a year under my belt, and I'm just like, oh no. And obviously you want to stay professional, so you don't want to keep asking, but you obviously don't want to mess the match up, so you got to ask just enough, and you got to remember, and then you get stressed, so you're wasting energy on that. That's one of the most scared I've ever been for a wrestling match, other than my actual physical first time out the curtain. That was my first eye opener into there is levels to this.
Yeah. So you must have just been really happy afterwards, though. Did you just go to the back afterwards and just sit down and just breathe?
Yeah, because obviously you want to stay in the moment. So, but the match that we had it in, I think it's on YouTube. So if anyone does want to go watch it, Corey McRae versus Speedball Mike Bailey. The ring's in the centre of the hall, but you have a balcony up top, which where all the boys and all the wrestlers would stand and watch. And obviously everyone wants to watch anyway because Speedball's there. They want to watch Speedball. The fact it's a martial artist versus a martial artist, and here comes the new kid going to get his ass whooped by a professional. There were so many reasons why everyone wanted to watch it. We go out, we're doing the match. I'm remembering the match. He's cool and it's going great. And after, because Speedball does some incredible things like the backflip knees, the solid kicks. Every time I could just hear the boys popping up in the balcony. So I was like, I know I'm doing it. Obviously, Speedball was carrying me 90% of that match, but it was like, it's going well because if they're reacting well and they know about it, the fans must be loving it. So being able to enjoy the arse whooping throughout that whole match, and again on top of that first experience is the first time getting hit by a professional, even though wearing kick pads, I'm obviously used to it through martial arts. Just that it instantly got rid of that wrestling's fake thing. You know, when you get kicked, it's like, okay, cool, here we go. So then that sort of woke me up into this is how we do it, the strong style as such. It was, and like you said, when I got backstage, that huge relief of thank God that match is done, I can actually relax now. Yeah, thank God that was done, but that was great. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Learned a lot. I was happy for the experience that I gained, the momentum that it gained me. There was so many positives.
Yeah, that is awesome. Okay, so it's one of those ones you can look back on and be like, yeah, you know, just being happy with it. It was like I said, it's an experience. Another name that popped out of me, not like an international one, but a friend of the show. I love the guy to pieces. Is RJ Singh.
Yeah,
had a few matches against the King.
Yes, mate. Yeah, we recently, we wrestled at IPW. I don't know how many years. It was way before COVID, so it's got to be 5-6 years ago.
I think it was down as 19, 2019.
Yeah, 2019, damn, yeah. Many moons ago. And then we recently wrestled again at Ignite.
Super 8 one. It was the Super 8.
Yeah. Of course, was it the singles match? Yeah.
Yeah.
So was it 3 times we've wrestled then? Or was it twice? I can't remember.
So the most recent one I noticed was the Super 8. I think it was first round or second round.
Super 8. Now we wrestled Ignite 1-on-1. I think it was a Super 8. Now, that was.
That might be the name of the show, but it was a singles match. Mm-hmm. But I think next to it on Cage Match, it just had the name of the show is Super 8. So it's probably
I remember IPW doing a Super 8 thing, but who? But yeah,
it might be that. I've looked at that many matches, dude. They all kind of meshed in. I'm just trying to remember. I'm just like, no.
But yeah, no, we wrestled a few years ago at RPW, and then thankfully all these years later got to wrestle again. And obviously RJ's a vet. He's been through it all. He's been in the business a long time. And when I wrestled him in 2019, still a young buck. So it was great to, all these years later, with all the experience and knowledge that I've gained, be able to give him a proper match, pro v pro. And RJ, being as great as he is, led the thing. We had a nice, safe, very comfortable match that went great. Safe hands in RJ Singh.
That's it. And, you know, you think it would be quite simple. It's just avoid the DDT, but it's never quite that easy.
He's a sneaky one. He gets it in there somehow.
Just love the aspects it's all about. Just bringing back that movement. That's awesome. But yeah, obviously, you know, like you say, you came from the martial arts background. So when you did start training, you know, obviously in your head, I presume, you know what kind of style you want to work. Obviously, you're learning the basics. You're learning the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Once that's done, you know what kind of path your character or your persona's on. You're drawing on the MMA. You're taking that. You're striking. You're not going to do all the flippy stuff. You're about the strikes.
It's funny. You're absolutely spot on. But to tweak it, almost, it was because. And the promoter had told me early on that it was a blessing that I didn't really watch or follow much wrestling growing up. I got to take a bit of every style, and that was from MMA, having a bit of the kickboxing, the jiu-jitsu, boxing, all the different things, having a collection of everything so you can do everything, so you don't have a weak point. So I learned, obviously I had the striking anyway, but then it was learning to do not crazy stuff like Joe Lando and Ospreay do, but a moonsault, a 450, a front flip, just something that if he was to get matched up against a high flyer, I can have something. Technical wrestling, obviously being under Paul Tyrrell, who was a bit of a UK legend, the technical side of chain, learning some of that, the different maneuvers of that, the lucha libre style, the arm drags. We had some cool seminars with Angelico and El Fantasmo, people that would show you the proper way to arm drag and all that. So I made sure that I would study. And again, on the Fridays, okay, let me try the arm drags. Let me try this. Let me try the moon. Get the crash pad out. Let's try the moonsault. Let's try the 450. Making sure I had a bit of everything so I could wrestle everyone on every show. So there was never any limit to where my character could go.
Good answer, man. That's it, because that's the thing as well. It's always good when you've got those things in the drawer. You know, you don't have to pull them out all the time. But every now and again, if you just want to pop somebody or just be like, hang on a minute, here we go. Cheeky surprise.
That's it. Yeah. I'm yet to hit a 450, I think, in a pro show, like all these years. I don't think I've ever done one. So maybe one day that comes on a big occasion that might come out.
That's it, dude. I think you know it's there. You know, even if you never use it, it's always there. Just a temptation, or just the, you know, we're struggling with the finish here. Got it. There we go.
Exactly. It's great to have there's a few things in the arsenal that people have no idea about, and I don't think I have an idea about anymore. It's been so long, but it's definitely there if I ever do need it. You
can take them out, dust them off.
Yeah.
There you go. That was a good one. Another couple of names also kind of jumped out at me in regards to, you know, I don't know where one of them is now, but I kind of still class them as both as AEW talent. I think it was both in the same match as well. Brian Pillman Jr. and Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian, yeah. Yeah, that was up at London at the Resgal, I believe. And yeah, that was for the Wrestling League as well, I think. Another match that I did not deserve to be in, but was still blessed to take that opportunity. Again, not to sound like a broken record, but Kip Sabian we put that match together. We went over it twice, and then that was it. He just went off, did his own thing, obviously, because he had it. He knew what he was doing. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm in a new venue, new place, new crowd. This isn't my hometown. Like, not only have I'm a young buck trying to impress a complete bunch of strangers, I've got to try and remember this match. We went over it, thankfully, a few more times before our match began. But yeah, that was an intense match. Obviously, a younger Brian Pillman. There's a few spots I still remember. I've got the footage somewhere, but there's a cool spot where I'm giving it the mouthy la. Something happens, and then they both double super kick me, and I done cool like slow motion sort of sail backwards. Yeah, there's been a few years. That's about all I really remember from that match. But again, was an eye opener to the levels of what this sport can do.
Well, that's it. I mean, like you said, with the Bailey one, it kind of emphasises, leveling up. I know people sort of class it as like when you face somebody. I'm sure somebody may have said it to you after the Bailey match. It's like, right, you've leveled up, and every time you do it, you just keep going and going. But yeah, when you start off, I guess obviously until you know the business inside out kind of thing, you don't kind of appreciate the layers to it.
Yeah,
that's a bit cliche, but yeah,
no, it is exactly it. It is exactly it. They are, even just having a basic understanding of the match structure, and that was obviously a triple threat, which holds its own structure completely. Whereas now, at least if someone didn't remember the spots, they at least knew a rough plan of what an average triple threat would be, so they wouldn't be as lost. People that don't know will never know how many tiny little layers there are between the bigger layers. Yeah, it's a crazy sport. Yeah.
It's cool though, because that's the thing. I mean, that's why I think as well, people who've been in the business, for like 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they've still got that excitement. They've still got that, never stop learning.
No,
there's an infinitive amount of layers.
Yeah.
In that sense, and if you ever do stop learning, then maybe, you're done basically.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly it with the fun of this sport of creating the match. You could wrestle the same person 7 days in a row. Every time can be different. It's like impossible to get boring because you're either trying some new stuff out or you're ironing some better things out. So yeah, it's you get to create anything you want. So it's always fun.
Dude, that's it. That's an awesome mindset. That's that should be the mindset of anybody and everybody who does it, kind of thing. For me, well, we'll talk Ignite. Obviously, former champ. Sorry to say former, but just recently.
Is what it is. A year and 4 months of it. It was sort of time to pass the torch like I'm something like move it on, make it fresh, give it a new lease of life as such. Not to say that we don't go back.
Only temporarily though, until you get it back, surely.
Yeah, exactly. There's some storylines in the pipeline there, a few twists and turns, but we shall see. It's funny because when me and Jim wrestled for the second time, Jim was supposed to win the belt, but then unfortunately, due to some things, he couldn't then attend the next show after he had won it. I couldn't walk away with the belt because Gene had said if he loses, he'll give up his belt and never wrestle for Ignite again. So Gene couldn't physically lose. So it was like, shit, what do we do? Not we.
Not a good.
They do. And then obviously, thankfully, they had don't know what they call it, the sort of number one contendership tournament. They'd had the final that show, so they was able to use that to have Gene go over, so he doesn't have to obviously leave and give me the belt, but could still then hand the belt off to someone that could attend the next show. So it sort of worked out the side. But I was never meant to originally have the belt the first time, and the person that had it before me wasn't the fully intended person to have it before me. So it's for the last 4 champions, it's never gone how it was completely written out. So maybe there's a curse on that belt for good reasons.
Well, it just keeps it interesting, keeps it fresh. It's obviously it's happening for a reason. So
if the promoter doesn't know who's going to be champion, the crowd aren't certainly going to know.
Kayfabe, baby. That's it. You guys don't know. How are we supposed to know?
Exactly.
It's real to everyone.
Call it out there, brother.
So, but yeah, obviously, Ignite. Obviously, when you get given a title, you always kind of like to. There's different mindsets with titles in wrestling, that kind of sort of stuff. Obviously, when I speak to people, again, I'm speaking, from outside, but for me, it would be a sense of accomplishment, gratitude, trust, and respect. If somebody gave me that belt, that would be like the utmost respect I could get, kind of thing.
No, absolutely. It's funny you say. So I know exactly the mindsets you're on about, and I'm a half and half of both. to put it simple. When I first won my very first ever pro title with Wrestling League, like it brought a few tears to my eyes, let's say, because like, it was what, a year and a half in maybe, and like you say, it's not necessarily tears of joy because you're a champion. It's tears of joy because the hard work, the time, and the effort that you and the sacrifices that you put in is being said. Like, we see that, we appreciate it. Here's your reward as such. Which made it quite overwhelming as such. But at the end of the day, coming from the MMA back stuff, and obviously knowing that it's someone's giving you're winning a title because the promoter has picked you to win it, and the person you're beating is allowing you to pin them. It's not a real title. It's still a story, as pretend as such. But obviously, you still hold that title with respect, and you do your duty as a champion.
Bringing up the martial arts side of things, wrestling is, again, it's something that divides people. Wrestling to some people is moments. Some people it's spots or exhibition matches. Just the hard hitting of a 30-minute just banging match, or just to tell another story. You said, like I said, you weren't the biggest wrestling fan, you knew of wrestling before you started.
Yeah.
So you don't have that kind of thing to pull from, like when you was growing up, like, oh, I love this bit of WrestleMania, or I love this bit from whatever. You don't have that bias. So as a wrestler, what do you prefer?
Yeah. So it's funny you say it. So if you was to say, like, with wrestling, what's something that you can draw back on? I used to sit and watch John Cena's rap battle against a fan in the crowd. I used to so if you think of wrestling, that is the first thing that my mind jumps to. You used to sit there and just do the whole thing, the back and forth, that, and a little bit of TNA. Oh, Curryman or Shark. What's his name?
Curryman. Shark Boy,
and Curryman. Oh, those two went off, mate. Obviously, now growing up, realised that Shark Boy was a bit of a Stone Cold sort of spin-off, but yeah, Curryman and Shark Boy, I used to go nuts for them for the little that I did watch. So it's Curryman, which is probably the answer no one would ever expect, is Shark Boy, Curryman, and John Cena rap battle and a fan. That must be the most rogue bingo card ever. But for now, it's a bit, it sounds so like wankerish, but like it's a bit of everything. Like, I'm not necessarily the best storyteller. I'm a bit of a spot monkey myself. But that in turn makes cool moments that I don't know if you would never assume, but just in case you have the spot where I do the Miss the Moonsault onto the ladders. Yeah. Like moments like that when the crowd go nuts. I love those things. But then on the contrary, that having a great story and having a great payoff is an incredible thing is something to watch back, especially if the matches get put out on YouTube or whatever. There's something cool to watch back. It's something cool for fans to get invested in. So I generally do love a bit of everything.
Yeah, no, it's good. Again, there is no wrong answer. That's the thing about wrestling. What's right for somebody is different for somebody else, and vice versa. But
just sorry to jump in, but just with on that is perfect. So like me and we've got Forrest Hayes, Nick Payne, and Dexter, who have done a little bit of outside of town sort of work, and we're all good friends. Forrest and Nick Payne will come round and we'll watch pay-per-view. Like nowadays, we'll watch pay-per-views together, and they like things they love, I can't stand, and things that I love, and even when we wrestle each other, put matches together. There's not a styles clash, but they like to. So we meet in the middle and find a middle ground. But yeah, like it made me think of that. Of like for when LA Knight was at its highest, I was like, it's so. I wasn't a fan because it's so clearly a Rock and Stone Cold paper mache. They were like, no, it's great, man. Yeah. And I was so shy. But then I love watching Will Ospreay's matches, but they're not the biggest fan of it as such. That style of wrestling, obviously very good at what he does, but that spot intense stuff isn't for them. They like the storyline stuff, whereas I'm more of a spots and impressive, unthinkable mechanical stuff.
That's it. I mean, that's how it works. And I think everything has a a point. Sorry, I've lost myself there. But I think the key thing is, though, is I've said this, for example, like if you want to give like star ratings as an example kind of thing. I said to somebody previously, like the Roman Reigns title reign, you know, the matches. I'm never going to go back and watch the matches again. They're not. No. But when you're watching them, when you're invested in the storyline, and at that moment in time, that's a 5-star match. It feels like a 5-star match. But I'm never going to watch it again. Yeah. But I can watch a flippy match 10 times. Yeah. And just watch it for the match.
Absolutely, like it's spot on, and with just what we've just spoke about, that whole like the Roman Reigns stuff. It took me a while to get into it, but then they got me hooked on thinking like everyone. But I'm fed up of watching the same match, not necessarily the same match, but a similar style of match, and then it always ends with the interference. And so this is boring now. Like either win clean or mix it up. Like it's the same shit, and again that's what's it. Whereas Forrest and Nick, they love it. They can't get enough of it. But I'm like, okay, well, this is going great, and the other guy's on the up. So where's the interference coming from? Oh, there it is. Glad I started to watch this.
So when you're all together, are you able to switch off? Are you watching it as a fan? Do you catch each other kind of watching it, like making notes, or you're like, oh, stop?
Good question. Good question. We've all got our own different bits, really. I like to. Because I know it's not, depends what match it is. I like to switch. I can switch off because it's not my style of wrestling. I'll be looking for cues of like when they're talking to each other or little liggies here and there of UOKs and things like that. I look for that sort of stuff just because I'm like, oh, where would they put it? And then there'll certainly be like holy shit moments where I'm like, thank you very much. Oh, you try and play on that, not necessarily copy and paste it, but at least try and implement it into my style, and some of the boys, a little bit. Yeah, again, that's me broken record, but a bit of everything. Yeah, some of them can't switch off. Some of us can. Some of us try and enjoy it, and then some of us are waiting for predict spots, what we think is going to happen, little bingo cards and stuff like that.
That's the thing. I can just imagine though, like just like a group of you, the one person just be like, it's like. Not just wrestling, like if you're watching a film, you're always going to be sat there with somebody. You'd be like, if you're watching like a murder thriller, like he did it, that's the killer. 5 minutes later, no, that's the killer. Like, will you just shut up and watch?
Just watch it. Just watch. Yeah, I'm bad for that because all 3 of us will be on a sofa, say, watching a screen. And I'm like, do you reckon if you did your thing, I could counter it with that? And they're like, shut up and watch the match. We can talk about it after. I'm like, I want to know. Let's talk spots now. They're going to be down for 10 minutes.
While it's fresh, let's talk about it. Dude, that's quality. I mean, obviously we talk WWE. I'm always interested, again, like people who wrestle, what kind of sort of stuff they watch, what they're drawn to. By the sounds of it, obviously you mentioned an Ospreay, so you got New Japan, you got AEW coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
Are they your kettle of fish?
Absolutely. New Japan, certainly so. Old NXT was to me, prime NXT with the Adam Cole's, your Pete Dunne's,
Finn Balor's shows.
What was Finn Balor's group called?
Oh,
no, not Finn Balor's group. Adam Cole, sorry.
Oh, Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black. That was professional wrestling. It had storytelling. It had spot fests. It had moments. Like, to me, that is when I look at that's the pinnacle of wrestling. Obviously, everyone's got their own tastes. People think different, but yeah, to get that is what Ricochet and all that would be there. So New Japan's close. WWE is a bit too storytelling, characteristic stuff, and AEW sort of trying to do it, but it's a bit of they're certainly like Wembley. When they do Wembley, it's incredible, but between then, it's a bit shaky. It can be a bit shaky where they've got such a big roster. So prime NXT, that's my cup of tea.
Yeah. No, dude, can't fault you. It was must-see TV. In fact, it was only like an hour-long show as well every week, and you could go 2 or 3 weeks between seeing somebody, and then you'd pop when they came back. But yeah, like I said, Undisputed Era. Prior to that, Finn being in NXT, Joe. Even Bobby Roode, man. Bobby Roode was awesome in NXT.
Yeah, over as hell. It's such a shame when it doesn't go as well when they make it to the main stage. But it's the price you pay, I guess, the gamble you take.
That's it, exactly. But no, I'm always curious as to say what tickles people's fancies in the actual for them to watch it kind of thing. It's like obviously, you do it, you put your body through that. For me, it's got to be next level for you guys to actually be able to sit down and switch off and enjoy it as well, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I always forget as well. When they're going, obviously, I'm sure they call a fair bit, but you forget that it's very rare that you see, especially in a pay per view, you'll see a botch. And it's like when I first started, I used to look for botches, not as a laughing thing, but like just to learn how they would recover from said incident. And then obviously that sort of faded out after a while. But yeah, you go for a whole WrestleMania, and it's like there wasn't one mistake, or if there was, they're that good that even wrestlers couldn't see it. So you forget that it's still live and they're still not winking it, but they're still going off memory / calling it. So how they don't botch at all is just a justice to how, again, the levels.
It's professional. Yeah, like you sort of said, that's why they get the big bucks, I suppose.
Must be nice.
What about around you though? I mean, obviously, we've talked like Ignite, IPW, Wrestling League. There's several other names that have completely just gone from the top of my head now that I had there ready to head before I started making this sentence. But yeah, do you go out and watch? Do you watch sort of other shows that you're not booked on? Do you sort of enjoy the scene as a whole around you?
I like to keep up to date with what my friends are doing, what they're up to. Obviously, we live in, again, middle of bumfuck nowhere, so going to shows a few hours drive, which isn't bad if you're paid to be on them and you get some fuel money, but to go that far is a bit of an ask as such. But certainly show the support online, like and sharing people's stuff, showing their support. But yeah, definitely messaging friends. Like if some of them will get huge matches, congratulating them and showing the love that way more than
giving them a pat on the back.
All online. If people have got matches online, I'll sit down while having dinner and watch people's matches and stuff like that. But yeah. So
do you message them afterwards? Be like, oh, that bit was a bit shady, or do you actually like? No.
I would never.
Are you sort of able to positively critique each other's stuff?
Depends how close I am with said person. There's a few people in that bracket where I would feel comfortable knowing that they would allow me to do so. But I'm 8-9 years in, and I'm in no position to message anyone saying, did that go right, did that go wrong, here's how I'd do it different. That's not my cup of tea as such. Maybe if I'm 25 years in and I don't care anymore, but yeah, no, it's if someone ever asks me, I would happily give my 2 cents with the limited knowledge and experience that I have. But the very worst, I would say, like, I loved how you recovered from that, or was that meant to happen, or was that just really good selling? Did they actually get clocked again, or was it really good selling? Things like that. But I'd never go like, oh, do you know what? That was great, but I would do it like this. Like I couldn't be me.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. You didn't want to imply that didn't want to reply. You would do that kind of thing. I was just meant within like the guys that you mentioned previously. A close circle.
Oh,
you'd be like,
close circle. Yeah, I'd rip them apart. Yeah, that's like 4 or 5 people in that band. Yeah. Oh, I sit there and laugh my ass off. Whether he received this or not, I find it funny. I don't know. Nick Payne, he's got 2 guys sat in the corners and he's doing cannibals, but he's a bit of a unit and he's never done them before. So and this is on our family show, so there was only a few people watching. But yeah, he would do these cannibals, but he would hold the bottom or the middle rope as support, so he didn't just flatten the people, but it just looked like he was running and just doing a handstand in the corner, and then he'd fall back into the ring, go the other way and handstand. That was 2 months ago, and I still haven't stopped ripping him for it. But in return, if I fall over, if I do something wrong, they give it right back to me, and we have a laugh about it. it's all in good spirit. But yeah, that's just one thing. In that bracket, we just rip each other apart, which is good because that's how you improve quicker.
Of course it is, yeah. I think you've got to be open to, like you say, as long as it's coming from a sincere place, and a place of friendship and fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not malicious. Nobody's being gnarly about it.
No.
It's like, all right, yeah, cool. All right, yeah, I'll take that on board,
Yeah.
and I'll show you next time. I'm going to fucking step it up, and I'll be even better.
Which is what he said before he then just ran and front flipped into me. So how was that cannonball? But fuck, okay, shouldn't have said nothing.
That's awesome. Again, totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, I just love that kind of being able to sit there and just have those chats with people and be like, look, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
But going forward then, so obviously you mentioned, obviously, you're one of the few people that I've talked to that's sort of down south. I tend to talk to a lot of people up north.
Yeah.
I'm looking to talk to more people down south because I want to cover. I don't want to just be the northern show kind of thing. You know, I want to talk to everybody from everywhere. So, I mean, are you looking to, you know, obviously you're looking to make money, you're looking to get booked.
Yeah.
But are you open to expanding your radius? You know, could we, you know, if somebody gave you some cash, could we see you wrestling up in Yorkshire or Lancashire at some point?
I would love to. There's literally not a place I wouldn't go. Like, I was just speaking to a few friends because unfortunately for this year, partly on me because I haven't done as much admin as I should. But I've literally you'd laugh. If I showed you my diary now, you'd laugh. For whatever, I don't know if I'm certainly taking self accountability, but I don't know if there's something else in play. I, for whatever reason, can't get. I've got more abroad bookings than I do have home in England bookings at the moment. So, and I'm not expensive. I don't ask for a shitload of fuel, like just something towards it. I drive 4 hours up to Manchester, or 5 hours to Manchester for 20, 30 quid of fuel. Like, I would love to work up north, get out there more. It's criminal. Like, a lot of people say I'm very underrated, which I was talking about ego earlier. Like, to a limit, I know that I am. I'm literally like Bitcoin before it blew up. All I need is one big promotion to give me a chance, let me prove my point, let me prove how good I am, and then that'll open doors and eyes and everything like that. So I am desperately, hungrily trying to get that.
Yeah, man, definitely. I think, you know, a lot of eyes should be, you know, looking in your direction, kind of thing. From, like I said, when I talk to people, I go look at stuff online, you know, YouTube, look at the matches and stuff like that. And yeah, you know, you do offer something different to what a lot of other people bring, kind of thing, which is always good.
Yeah.
As we said before, wrestling is selective, so you know it's not for, you know, some people like this, some people like that. When you're booking a show, you want to cover all the bases. You know, you want to have a bit of this, a bit of that, and yeah, man, I think you offer something that very few other people do, kind of thing. You know, you've got that credibility, legitimacy. So, but that kind of leads me to the next thing. That's what I was going to talk to about at some point. Is I was well intrigued how people treat social media in wrestling, because to me, again, everything I say is from an outside perspective.
Sure.
I'm looking at it in, like, you know, you've got this tool in front of you that you can just market the shit out of yourself. You can just, you know, hype yourself up and try and get as many eyes on the prize as possible.
Yeah.
You can, you know, it's just brand exposure. You know, do you think something you subconsciously, you think people either do too much or they don't do enough? You know, there's got to be a middle ground.
Yeah, no, definitely. You can always do more. Is something I just have for life. Like, you can always do more. And social media is something I lack very much. So, like, I love Instagram for personal and business use as such. But Twitter and things like that, I'm shocking for. Mainly because I know that I'm not going to get much interaction. So my brain goes, that time can be used somewhere else. But I know that it is important and I should do it. But I just don't do it, unfortunately. But yeah, it should. And again, with that is exactly one of the reasons why I'm not out as much as I should, I think, because I'm not using the social media and getting the eyes on me as much as I could do. So thank you for that. I'm going to take that in, use that, and push socials a bit more. Hopefully that will pull some stuff in. But yes, no, everyone can always promote and use social media a lot more.
I just think, like I said, it's a free thing. I had I don't know how wise, you know, the audience is, but I had Priscilla on a few weeks ago, and there was on about like, you know, the social media, ignore the media side of it as much as possible and embrace the social side of it.
Yeah,
you know,
interaction. Yeah, clicks.
That's it. And trust me, dude, I spend so much trying to plug these shows, plug guests on Twitter or X. The thing about Twitter is 98% of the time, dude, you're talking to yourself and it's a ball ache, and I know it is. But every now and again, you get, you know, something clicks and it's like, yes.
Exactly that. Like even just, I've got a bunch of photos from shows that I need to post, and it's like, we'll think, like, say today, for example, on a Monday, get in from work at 7:30, 8 o'clock, have dinner, get ready for tomorrow, then we do this, and then we'll be finishing at whatever time. Obviously, you have to run as well, however long we like. But so it's like you're trying to find to then do all of that, and then sit down and go, right, now less from our wrestling. So like, no, I just want 10 minutes to just wind it, and then by the next thing you know, it's next weekend. You've got another match, so then photos get shoved behind, and you're just like, oh fuck it, I can't. So yeah, that's so you got to try and find that space, and or just bite your mouth guard and get on with it, and just do it anyway. It's a tricky thing to juggle.
Not to put anybody off interacting with me on Twitter, but a little trade secret. There's a porcelain throne upstairs that you can sit on for 10 minutes and just mess about on your phone.
Yeah.
You know, it's beats back in the day reading shampoo bottles. Grab your phone, tweet.
Yeah, man. So I need to get better at Twitter. Twitter's where it's at. If Instagram was where I was at, I'd be so much better off. But I just can't do Twitter. I don't know why. I just can't get me running around Twitter. Like, like you can get paid for interactions and that. Obviously, you've got to get to a certain reach. But
yeah,
I wouldn't even have first ask Chloe to get to that.
No, I don't even. To be honest, I don't. I'm not monetized in any way, shape, or form. I just go on there and do what I do. Instagram is good though, man. Fill your reels up with highlights and stuff like that. Because it's one shot where people can see what you can do.
Clips.
You know, you fill those reels up, dude.
Definitely. That's you get in what you put. No, you get out what you put in, which is something. Once I've saved me money pots up a bit, I'm gonna hire people to make little MVs and promo packages and little book Corey McRae sort of posters and those sort of things, because I think that's where I'm lacking really. If not, I can say that I've tried it and given it a go, and if it doesn't work, then at least I know.
Speak to obviously I know this is the man who put me in contact with you, Mr. Michael Dolly, from Johners. Speak to him, dude. Anything like that, pick his brain. I'm sure that dude, you know, he's running like 6 freaking social media accounts across the board for different things. Damn. So if anybody knows, dude, pick Jolly's brain.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll drop him a message. Thank you very much.
There you go, buddy. Not a problem. Tell him I sent you. And he sent me to you. I'll send you back to him for something else.
It's a ping pong.
There you go. It's a circle of life, dude. But yeah, so I highlight reels. You mentioned international bookings. Where are you off?
Yeah, I've got Germany 6 times this year, as it stands, and then I'm trying, like, obviously being with Passion Pro in Hungary, I need to drop them boys a message to see if anything's popping over there. I really want Italy and obviously Japan and America. Like, I love America anyway, but those are the big 2 notches that I would love to, even if I have to fly myself out there, to do that, because the skill and different style out there for both places is crazy. But yeah, Italy would be a cool one. Italy and France. I
could definitely see, you know, I've seen like your stuff, man. I can see you rocking it out at like Noah or somewhere like that, you know, in Japan.
Yeah,
Noah would be an awesome fit, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely, especially with me green and gold attire. That suit quite well with the green badge. And
that's it. Obviously, Germany. I know it's WXW, numerous promotions. Is that you going back there in?
I haven't got any plans with WXW, but Unlimited Wrestling, we love each other over there. It's great. The fans, the team, the crew, the wrestlers, the roster. It's a massive, nothing but love connection. There you go. So back there plenty of times this year, and I cannot wait. Bloody love it. They're like 400 or 500 people a show. They're all up for it as well. Everyone, it's not. I'm sure there is obviously a percentage of the people there that are just like, oh, we'll give wrestling a go. But for the majority, It's hard, dedicated fans. So nothing but love, and I cannot wait to reconnect with all those people.
Dude, I mean, Germany itself has got such like a lineage and history for wrestling. You know, you speak to anybody who was anybody before they became big, you know, and they'll credit like tours in Germany, like Owen Hart, Bulldog, Daniel Bryan, Bret Hart. All those guys have all left a stamp on in Germany, kind of thing, and they just appreciate how much wrestling is respected there.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's good. I've had the privilege of wrestling for GWF, WXW, now Unlimited Wrestling. If I could, I would love to just do a circuit of those 3 companies. That would be incredible.
The German, what's the difference with the? Because obviously the fans across the world are different in numerous different places. You go to Japan, they're very polite, respectful. You know, British fans are British fans. You know, lovers or haters. You know, we are what we are. What are the German fans like? I can imagine them being quite loud and sort of supportive, but boisterous.
Passionate. One word, passionate. They are very passionate. They love what they love, and if they don't like you, they'll know about that. You'll know about it, which is great. But especially at Unlimited Wrestling, if I could come out heel one day and then boo me, and then if I come out happy as Larry the next show, they'd cheer me. Like they're just there. Whatever the wave is, we'll ride it. They're loving the storylines. They're giving back the appreciation that they can tell that they're getting from Unlimited. Very loud, receptive. It's not like some stuff where something cool will happen and everyone goes, "Oh, sick." Like they'll acknowledge it, they'll applaud it, they'll appreciate it, and then it sort of slowly simmers into the next thing. It's not like a well done, boom. So if you get them, if the storyline's right and everything's going smooth, oh my god, it's one hell of a roller coaster to ride.
Dude, that's amazing. I'd just love to. Oh, obviously, you know, I keep picking up YouTube. I'm gonna have to go and check out some of the stuff on YouTube. I'm sure it's there to be seen.
Yeah, definitely. I've got my own YouTube channel for Corey McRae, but if you literally just put Corey McRae,
no, dude, that's perfect.
Or other promotions that have got me in some of the matches that they've put on their own YouTube channels. There is a plethora, a bunch of matches there.
Yeah, plethora, good word. Of course, you've got your own channel. That's why I saw most of the videos. I'm just going to do. I literally do all this stuff. I start recording, and I just turn into a goldfish. I'm sure subscribe. If I haven't subscribed, I'll go back and subscribe. But I'll put a link in the video description as well. So obviously you're watching this.
Yeah.
When you finish, look in the description. There you go.
Watch them all, like them all, and then follow me on Instagram and Twitter.
When I do the generic stuff at the end, I'll do it twice, but from this channel and your channel as well. There you go.
Yeah, love it.
All right, quick question then. I'll use this as a question because we're getting close to the hour mark. But obviously, I had a dude on a while ago who's like a Belgian, big black Belgian bull, Robin Lakeem. And he was sort of saying in Belgium, at least, I can't remember if he said anywhere else. Obviously, the name of the show is Work the Left Side. In Belgium, they work the right side.
Oh.
In Germany, are they lefties or righties?
Pretty sure it's left. I hope it's left. Yeah. I think Mexico work their right as well.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's left. If it's not, it is now when I'm there. You're
bringing it back. You're representing.
Okay. I'm taking your left arm whether you don't want me to or not.
Dude, that's awesome. But the thing is, I think obviously it must be because somebody would have called you by now. They'd be like, "No, dude, like over here, get me on this one."
Unless I've tried and I've just gone, no.
In which case, mate, you're a bad man, and I would not mess with you any day of the week.
Yeah, man. We do what we've got to do, get the job done. If you don't want to go there, I'll put you there.
Dude, that's amazing. Right, dude, plug your Insta. Obviously, I'm going to plug your YouTube channel in the description. And just obviously I'll say my thanks and everything afterwards. But yeah, where can people see you?
Yeah, come subscribe. Watch the videos at Corey McRae. Instagram, come over, drop us a follow _ Corey McRae. And then Twitter, I believe, is Corey McRae 2, I think. Put Corey McRae and I'll be there, I'm sure.
End of the day, anyway, I'm going to spam your socials over the next couple of days, so I apologise for that. But I'll tag you in everything, anything to do with
more
this.
things for me to share, mate, so please.
The stuff. So obviously, if you watch, well, you know, obviously not if you're watching this, you are watching this, otherwise you won't be able to hear me say that. Yeah. Click, obviously, yeah, Corey's going to be tagged in on everything. If you're not following the dude, please give the dude a follow, show some support, spread the word, share, like, post. Obviously, it goes without saying on this episode, hit like, hit subscribe, share.
Buy merch.
Buy merch, yes, buy the merch as well. Is it a big cartel or is there somewhere else for you to find?
Yeah, just drop me a message, literally on any of them. Drop me a message. I did try to do a big cartel, but that was too confusing for me, so I sacked that off. So just drop me a message if you t-shirts, hoodies, jumpers, signed photos, stickers, whatever you want, I can get it.
I'm right there with you, dude. I did the same thing. I've tried doing merch a few times. I do it on a site called Street Shirts, which process to order. So if somebody says they want one, I have to quickly go on there, like quick ship order, make it, post it. Yeah.
Play, mate.
But yeah, hit like, subscribe, share. Thank you for watching. Keep your eyes peeled, obviously. I've got a busy few months, got a couple of more guests lined up to announce coming soon. But yeah, you know, support the local scene, support the people you appreciate, and spread the word. And we will see you again very soon. See you later. Say bye.
Bye.